Welcome to Google for Real Estate. I'm Derek, real estate agent, outdoor adventure sportsman, and Google marketing geek. On the show, we talk about how to dominate Google local search and get business from our Google business profiles and other local SEO tools and business tools, as well as discuss other things from time to time. If you are in a different profession or know somebody in a different profession, especially a local type business, all the stuff we talk about here, even though we're speaking about real estate usually, it usually translates over to other local type businesses as well. And I have been getting more referrals and that's my win for today. I seem to be getting more business from other business types, which is fun. And it's fun because each business type is a little bit different when you get into the Google business profile and the local services ads. It's a little slightly different. Sometimes there are features that others don't have. So it's learning new things and also makes a little bit different from day to day because I do a lot of real estate Google business profiles, which keep them coming. I don't want to stop doing that. That is my jam, but it has been fun to do some other ones and get into some other things. So, and once I have templates for, say, a roofing business, that is not one of them. One of them is a commercial property maintenance company, emergency 24/7 property maintenance company. Once I have a template for that, then I could go search out other maintenance companies not in the same local market, but and then I have a template for that so I can do it over and over again. So anyway, that's fun. Let's get into it. I got some news and random things from all the content and things I read and watch. We'll do some Ask Me Anything or some wins if anybody has that. And then a reminder that you can still put your review link in the chat if you want to. Or you can also put your name plus realtor. So I'll put mine in there. Name plus realtor. And this will help people too. So you could give them a review and you could also branded search them and then click on their stuff. Click on their Google business profile, click on their website. Just interact with their stuff for at least a minute or a few minutes or so. Google has started to expand, and they always have to some degree, but it seems like recently they have started to care about branded queries and who seems to have the most relevance and prominence outside of just what happens on the Google business profile. So if somebody says, I'm looking for a realtor near me, if I'm near that person and everybody is searching me out, Google's going to say, hey, everybody's looking for this Derek realtor. He's right next to you. You should probably talk to this guy. So do that. Click on people's websites. Google's watching all those things. So that can help people out too, especially if you've already given them a review. This would be a way to pay it forward. And another way you could continue to help people if you gave a review already, or this would be for clients and people giving you reviews also. If they've already given you a review, they can only do one per email address, but they can add as many videos and photos indefinitely, as many as they want. So they can always come back and add another photo or add something to it. And Google loves that stuff too. So I see some names in the chat. Awesome. Everybody Google everybody and click on everybody's stuff. Maybe we should, and you could, I have heard this works, if we all had a party and all 30 of us or 50 or whatever, however many pass through this room every week, concentrated on one person, you could probably manipulate rankings fairly quickly from what I hear and tests people run, but it would quickly go away once you stop doing that. If it doesn't continue, then it would just stop and go away. So there is you need it kind of sustained and everything. But yeah, worth doing, and put your name in there. See some more names in there. Sweet. All right. And again, you can still put your review link in there if you want to. And Google, you are allowed to, anybody that has interacted with the business, quote unquote, is allowed to give a review. So a review from a professional, fellow professional in a mastermind like here would be a case where under Google's guidelines, you would be allowed to have a review from that person. And that takes us to my first piece of news, but actually before we go to that, Do we have any Ask Me Anything, any issues, questions, anything about Google Business Profile, local services ads, Google ads, other Facebook ads, other stuff? If not, maybe what I'm talking about will trigger some questions or issues. So that first one, like I said, is review related. My first piece of news here. If you go now into your Google Business Profile and you click the button that says get more reviews, ask for reviews is what it says. Or if you click your read reviews button, there's a button that says get more reviews. And then when that comes up where you grab your link to copy, it also gives you a QR code now, which is dumb. I mean, everybody's talking about it, so I gotta point it out. And it's a change in the dashboard, so it's a reason for me to make a post. There'll probably be a story about it today on my stories. But if you pull that up now, they're giving you your QR code to make it even easier for businesses to ask for reviews and get reviews on Google. It's kind of dumb. Obviously, we can make our own QR codes from the link. I guess they figure some business owners are dummies and can't even do that. So you can get your QR code right there, and you can't save it. You have to, it has directions right there. Right click and select Save Image As, so you can share the QR code with customers. I'm guessing if the person is so terrible and can't make their QR code or doesn't know how to save it, if they're that bad, they're going to need more direction from there. Just saving it to their computer isn't going to help them. So the whole thing's kind of dumb in my opinion, but it does signal and point out a difference between, say, Google and Yelp, where Google is promoting asking for reviews, and it makes sense. Google wants as many people going to Google, so why wouldn't businesses want reviews? So you can have all these people out there working for you, getting people to go to Google actively. So why wouldn't they want to get more reviews and keep people coming back as the place where you look at reviews and get reviews and blah, blah, blah. So it makes sense, but on the Google side, so they actively want reviews. If you go to Yelp, and this is probably going to be a post at some point too, it explicitly says there that you cannot ask for reviews. They have specific proprietary algorithms and scanners on reviews and the review givers and the review getters and all that stuff that looks specifically for, and other things too that could be bad, but looks for signals that say that this person solicited the review or even asked for the review. Yelp wants reviews to be completely like these people were blown out of their minds, either good or bad, that they had to leave a review. They felt super compelled to leave a review. It's not that the business is out there asking every Tom, Dick, and Harry and Jane and Alice for a review. So there is a big contrast there. And if you're somebody if you're out looking for reviews or restaurants, you could keep that in mind too, that if you go to Google, everybody's out there trying to get the most reviews to rank the best, and Google is promoting it. And if you go to Yelp, that's going to be mostly real reviews, people that were super compelled to leave a review. So that's interesting to keep in mind. Next thing, this is non-Google Business Profile related. I noticed in Google Workspace, and I couldn't find it today, which is annoying, but I was in Google Workspace a few days ago, and I think it's a new feature. Maybe it's been around. Somebody can pipe up if they've seen it before, but there was one of those little bubbles that was kind of like, hey, new feature. And it said, did you know you could get e-signatures in Workspace? And I was like, okay, maybe I could. Well, I already have it for real estate, so I use that for my marketing business, my real estate subscription, so I don't really pay anything extra for it. But if it was easier or more streamlined, or I wasn't a real estate agent, I was like, and plus it's Google, so I had to try it out, obviously. It's definitely not DocuSign or Authentisign or DigiSign or any of those more robust ones, DocuSign being my most favorite out of all of them, but definitely not as robust. It's super basic. I think I saw you could only add one signer, I think it was. I could be wrong with that, but it's really basic. But if you were in a jam and you didn't have anything and you really needed to use something and you have Workspace, you might be able to use that e-signature in Workspace. And like I said, I was just trying to find it before I clicked the room to start, and I couldn't figure it out, or maybe they got rid of it that fast. I don't know. I think it was before, when I figured it out, I went to a document in my Google Drive. So it was in Google Drive. I went to the document, a PDF. I'm right here on a lead paint disclosure. And then I clicked on the three dots that opens up like all the things you can do with that file. And I'm pretty sure, oh, there it is. Now I found it. You click on the share button, and then it will give you a menu of 4 other items, and one of them is e-signature. And then you click on that, and then it's going to open up that PDF document in an e-signature format, again with initials and signature and name and a text field and that kind of thing. So if you have Workspace and you're in a pinch and you need to get something signed, you could use that. It does work. I tried it out. It seemed to work fine, other than it just doesn't have all the bells and whistles and capabilities. And I think you would have to combine your PDFs before you did it. So it would have to be one PDF, because I can't figure out, unless I didn't try to select multiple PDFs and then click share. Maybe then you could do it. I didn't try that. But you might have to have all into one PDF to like get a bunch of stuff signed or whatever. So little new feature in Workspace. You can use the e-sigs there if you want to. Again, not really that great, but it's there. And now we are into some of my takeaways from the different content and things that I listen to and read. This is from the Near Memo on February 27th. So that was like last Thursday. They were talking about Apple Business Connect. So this is, again, another signal, and I feel like I'm always repeating myself, but Apple Business Connect, Apple Business Connect. It is becoming a thing. They are starting to run ads. I'm starting to see ads on my Instagram and Facebook for Apple Business Connect. So Apple's pushing them. They were also talking about it. They said, and this was more e-commerce based and like store visits and stores and local things like that. But they said Apple Business Connect can now be up to 20% of the store visits that businesses are seeing. And it's even higher for hospitality businesses. So obviously those are different business types from us as real estate agents, but that's a pretty big number, I feel like, 20%. And nobody was ever even talking about Business Connect a year ago. And now everybody's starting to talk about it. Apple's pushing it. They also said Apple is number 2 for store visits. So I guess that means probably next to Google, Apple is attributed to the second most store visits to local stores. And all of them throughout the episode were just forecasting growth for Apple Maps and Apple Business Connect and that whole ecosystem as they separate from Google and build out their own things like this. So Apple Business Connect, if you're not on it, get on it or hit me up. And it's not the easiest thing. There is some verification required, unfortunately, and a couple other little nuances in there that you have to keep in mind. But for the most part, it's not super complicated, other than for someone like me who is not in the Apple world. Every time I log in to do something in Apple Business Connect for myself or clients, I have to go through like 8 different verification steps because I don't have Apple devices. So then I have to say, I can't do that one, send the text to my phone, and then it doesn't work right a couple times and blah, blah, blah. So it's a little pain in the butt if you're not already in the Apple world. But anyway, even if you're not, you can get in there and do it. Just Google Apple Business Connect and then do the things in there, or hit me up if you need help with that. And I think that's all I took away from that episode, but pretty important. Keep that in mind, the Apple Business Connect. That's on most of my clients' list for this year. If they weren't, well, most of mine were already on it, but to pay a little bit more attention to it. And possibly start getting reviews, quote unquote. I think it's still like a thumbs up or thumb down, or their review system's kind of dumb, or just they haven't built it out yet possibly is why it is the way it is, but that will continue to be a thing, I believe. Next tidbits are from the Search Engine Roundtable. They were talking about how Google is triple serving ads. So everybody knows that Google's revenue, I don't know the number, but 70, 80, 60, I don't know what percentage of their revenue, but a bulk of their revenue comes from ads in search. And they are always trying to make more money off of ads in search. And they were double serving ads. And what I mean by double serving ads means that you search a thing, Derek Bixler, realtor, and you scroll down and maybe you see my website as an ad. I'm running an ad for, the regular search website. And then you see the Google business profiles and there's another ad there. And then maybe they would show it again, the website, the same exact ad down. So that's 3. That's the triple served idea there that I mentioned. But double served would be if there were 2 of the same business's ads in that first page of the search results. So now they've been spotted of triple serving ads. So I don't know. It could be good, I suppose, if you were the one being triple served. Maybe their algorithm says when we do this, that business that we triple serve or double serve or whatever usually gets the call, or a more higher percentage of the time they get the call. So if Google knows that, they could set the algorithm to kind of help people out, or I don't know what they would do with it, but they could kind of do it that way. We know that this works. So maybe this search, this business gets triple served, and then the next search, this other business gets triple served, or maybe it's the same business every time or whatever. But I could see it being a good thing. Typically when they talk about double serving ads and triple serving ads, it's a negative thing, like this advertiser doesn't want to pay for being there twice kind of thing. But it could be good. Why more is better kind of, right? As long as it's not too repetitive, or I don't know. There must be a reason they're doing it. But anyway, triple served ads have been spotted. And they've also been in the past talked about how Google is also double selling leads or ads from local services ads also. Like if you click to message a business in local services ads, sometimes it will say, hey, do you want to send the same message to a bunch of other businesses? So that's kind of like Zillow sending a lead out to everybody, and then the first to get back to them gets back to them. And I don't think it happens every time, and I haven't heard any instance of it, but it is a thing. So Google is just always trying to maximize their ad revenue from search. That's what they do, and they're probably going to have to figure out a little bit different way to do it, since search will change in the future with AI. Next one from that same Search Engine Roundtable episode. They were talking about a mystery shopper rating, and they said they talked to Google and they didn't know, or nobody would say or know anything about it, or didn't want to say anything about it. But there was a business that had a bunch of reviews, and then there was a review rating. And if you averaged the reviews up, the ratings of the reviews, it did not match the average rating that Google was showing. And when Google was asked about it, they said that it was due to a mystery shopper rating. So basically, they're just this mystery shopper rating, which again, nobody knows what that is yet. And they're basically reviews that you can't see. So kind of dumb. The whole point of a review is to get some feedback and maybe get better or whatever. So apparently Google is somehow mystery shopping, maybe calling the business, or I doubt they have humans out there doing things, unless there's some local guiding thing you can sign up to be a mystery shopper for Google. I don't know. So that was interesting, but doesn't really pertain to anything. Probably won't see it out there in the wild, I wouldn't think. And then Google Ads not serving some accounts ads since March 1st. Yeah, it was just some outages of Google Ads. Some accounts weren't seeing their ads shown, so there was some glitch or something that Google was updating or something that was hurting some ad accounts. So if you were running Google Ads, not specifically local services ads, but regular Google Ads, if you saw in the beginning of March here, they're not showing, or it seems to be different or something that might have something to do with it. Also on the search engine roundtable, but a different day, they were talking about how Google has 5 trillion searches annually as of January 2025. So basically in 2024, 5 trillion searches on Google. And that compares to, and they don't share this information all the time, apparently. It's not just something they put out all the time. The last times that they put it out were 2 trillion in 2016 and 1.2 trillion searches in 2012. So searches steadily going up. And they don't say exactly what these searches are either. So it's kind of skewed, like 5 trillion searches. I don't know, 1 million of those searches is me Googling my own business to then manage my Google business profile. So do they count things like that in these searches? And so all these numbers kind of don't mean anything unless there's some more qualifications or tell us a little bit more about it. But 5 trillion searches annually is how many searches happen on Google. They said only 1/3 of active web users are on Google every month. So that was a little bit shocking. So every month, all the people that are on the internet, only 1/3 of them, 34%, I think it was in the graphic that they showed, are going on Google. So I feel like I go to Google constantly. But yeah, how could you use a computer without going there? I don't know. I mean, I do use shortcuts in my browser, like I'm a shortcut maniac, and I got shortcuts to my shortcuts, but bookmarks, I mean, those little tabs at the top, but I use Google all the time, so that seems shocking to me. But only 34% of active web users use Google every month, 87 of which use google.com. So 87% of that 34% are using regular Google search for the most part. And then 10%, and that makes 97%. So I don't know where the other 3% is, but 10% of that 1/3 of people using Google are using Google Images. So that's, yeah, I guess I do that sometimes. I do that for logos a lot. I will search like EXP Realty, and then I will click on the images tab, and then I will pull a EXP logo off of there to then match the color for a client's cover image or whatever I'm doing. So that makes sense a little bit, I guess. 10% on Google Images, 87% on regular search. And then they also added that 10% of quote-unquote younger users use Circle to search, and that's globally. So I think this information came out of Google headquarters in India, but this is globally. 10% of quote-unquote younger users, and they didn't say what that exactly meant, but they use Circle to search. And if you don't know what Circle to search is, all us Android people, and you could probably have it on an Apple too, but it has this thing called Circle to Search, which I personally think is kind of stupid, and I rarely use. It's the same thing as Google Lens, basically. If you went to Google Lens, you can upload an image. I use it sometimes for identifying an animal, or what type of snake is this, or what type of flower, or whatever. And then you put it up into Google Lens, and it searches the internet for like images, and then gives you other like images and articles, and tells you things about it and all that kind of stuff. So Circle to Search is basically Google Lens, but just a kind of a shortcut on your phone to do it. On my phone, I could have a shortcut that's whatever screen I'm on. Say I'm on Instagram and there's a product that I like in a picture or something, I could just click my shortcut button, circle that product, and then Circle to Search would then Google Lens out there and figure it out, and give me results for that thing, other pictures of it, what product it might be, where to buy it, all that stuff. So I guess people are using that. I don't know, 10%'s a big enough number that it matters, I suppose, but I don't really like it all that much. And as AI progresses, you won't even have to use circling. There will probably still be search via images and videos. There definitely will be, because Google's a lot of their AI promote or demonstrations on their last big AI convention presentation thing was like you could scan your desk, a video of your desk, and then ask Google things. And we've all heard of like taking a picture of the pantry and then AI telling you things. So the imagery won't go away, but the circling, having to circle things in the picture, probably not going to do. You're probably just going to take a picture of it and then say to your phone, hey, that mouse in the picture, where can I buy that or whatever. You're not going to, the circling part will be unneeded. But anyway, and then analytics is changing. Oh, this isn't really a big deal probably to anybody in here, but if you use Google Analytics, they are changing the word conversions to key events in there because they want to reserve the term conversion for Google ads, for when you convert something in Google ads. So again, probably over a lot of people's heads, but if you use Google Analytics, you might see that change where it should be called key events now instead of conversions in there. And then on the Ranking Academy, which is a YouTube channel, I forget the guy's name, but it's Ranking Academy. You could find it on YouTube. A couple things that I pulled out of one of his episodes that I was watching. One of them is a tool for tracking your ranking, a tool I didn't know about. It's kind of a light tool. GMB Everywhere is a similar tool. So if you're looking for little tools to like track rankings and see things on your Google business profile and do kind of what agencies do, GMB Everywhere is a pretty good one. And then this one I didn't know about, which is kind of similar. It has a couple extra features that GMB Everywhere does not. Although GMB Everywhere does a couple things this one does not. But it's called Plepper, Plepper Local, Plepper Local. And it's a nice little tool. I'm probably going to get it. I'm trying to figure out which one. It's pretty cheap, which is why it's good. And so is GMB Everywhere. If you get like a bigger agency kind of local SEO or SEO package to track things, that's much more expensive, and your typical real estate agent or whoever's not going to do that. But this one, which is why I brought it up, is only $18 per year for a single business owner. And that's what I'm debating. It's only $10 a month and then $25 a month for agencies or if you have multiple listings or multiple businesses. So still not that expensive, but I'm thinking I might just have each client just have their own, and then they have it, it's theirs. If something were to change or something, because the cost seems to be about the same. There isn't much savings if I'm paying for everybody's or they each have their own. Or if you're just a business owner and not working with me, obviously that single business owner could get you some tracking and things going. So Plepper Local is a cool tool you might want to check out if you don't want to spend a ton of money on agency type stuff, but want to track and see some information. And I actually pulled it up. Where is it? And I pulled up the extension, or I installed the extension on my computer. There it is. So you can install on Chrome. There's a Chrome extension you can install for free. And if you go to a Google business profile, it then pops up some information automatically. It tells you what categories. I mean, if it's your own Google business profile, you probably know all this stuff or should know all this stuff anyway. But it'll put your place ID and your customer ID right there easily. Or if you were looking at somebody else's, it would put that in there. Tells you if the address is hidden, has the contact information and the website. Under the website, it's got a bunch of links to free ranking and like website audit tools, and I'm sure you could pay more, but they'll probably all give you a free kind of website audit, SEO audit. And then also at the bottom, it gives you links to search Bing for this business, to search Apple for this business, to search Yelp for this business, Facebook, Wikipedia, Google, regular Google, Google Maps, and then Foursquare, which I then clicked on to see if I was on Foursquare because I like to sign up for stuff and I haven't gone there for a long time. And I don't think anybody really needs to be there, but if you were there, you might want to check it. And I did check it, and I was there, but I was there as 2 or 3 brokerages ago. Actually, their brokerage account, and I couldn't figure out how to add a second business, so I just changed that one to me. And I think I'm in business on Foursquare now. Not that I feel like I need to be, but I'm on there now and correct. Other than it won't seem to change my main logo. So I might need to put a help ticket if such a thing exists. If there's still somebody manning Foursquare, I might have to update that logo because it should be my headshot, not 3 brokerages ago logo. So that local tool again was Plepper Local. Pretty easy to find. Got a free version you can use for the extension, and then more tools if you pay that. And again, it's $18 per year for if you're just a single agent with a profile. And then GMB Everywhere is another one you could look into. I forget how much that is, but I think it's 100 or 200 a year, so more, but still not some crazy outrageous price. That's much less than what the big other ones do or cost. And then the other thing he talked about there was this I found interesting, and I don't know if I'm going to have to see more proof or hear other people say it before I start taking action on it. But he was saying to not use online appointments and on-site appointments available. So if you were in your Google Business Profile dashboard and you went to the Edit Profile tab, and you went the whole way down to your attributes. Those attributes are those things that say, like, do you have parking? What kind of parking? Do you have restrooms? Do you have a wheelchair accessible? Is it women-owned or black-owned? And all those kinds of things. All the way at the bottom under service options, it will have 2 things that say offers online appointments or offers on-site appointments. If you're hiding your address, you won't see the on-site appointments one because all you do is on-site appointments, meaning somebody else's site appointments. If you're showing a physical location, you will have the on-site one. But he was saying to don't say yes to those, even though it is yes to most people. And usually the common practice is to say yes to as many things as possible, so you have as many bells and whistles and show up for as many searches as possible. But he was saying not to do it because it might affect how other things appear on your profile when consumers are seeing your profile. And he didn't go any further into it. That's a basic kind of setup thing that I'm doing all the time. So I'm going to maybe test it. I don't even know how to test it. Change it on my own and then look at it and see if anything changes. I don't know what it would change. It's just check marks on your profile. And that would be tough to troubleshoot or test or whatever. But I'm going to have my ears open in case anybody ever talks about that again. I'm going to listen in. But for now, I don't really buy it, I guess. But the guy's pretty good expert, so I'm not ignoring it totally, but not going to change what I'm doing based off of one little statement in a video either. And that concludes all my little tidbits and news and everything. Does anybody have any questions or issues or anything about anything I just talked about or anything not related? Anybody new in the room? Come up if you want. And if nothing, I will...
Derek.
What's up?
Hey, man. Good morning, everyone. Robert Hogan, Asheville, North Carolina. I had my Google review link posted in my 10K card, and then now when I click on it, I have to log in. Do I need to get that removed or just checked out? It can't no one click on it and give me a review no more like it used to be. I have to log into it. I have to log into myself.
Whoever is giving the review would have to be logged into Google. So your review link might still be correct. You could check the link and make sure it still matches up with your Google Business Profile link, blah, 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 and maybe take that link and then paste it and go to it some other way to make sure it works. But if somebody were to click that and they weren't logged into Google in their browser or whatever, it would probably make that person sign in to Google, or if they didn't have a Google account yet, they would have to create an account. So that might be it. Does that sound like it, or no? You don't think?
That's, I mean, it's a possibility. When I clicked on it, I had to log in to go to my Google page for that review. So they have to be. You just saying, as long as they're logged in, once they click it, it should go straight to it. Because I'm not sure on that one.
Yeah. Is it attached to your Instagram?
Well, it's in my 10K card.
Yep, I'm going there now and looking for it. Google reviews. I'm assuming it's that one. Yes, it does ask me to sign in. That's because I'm on Instagram. That would probably be why in that instance, because I'm not signed into Google on Instagrams. If it were to like open it in my own browser, probably wouldn't ask me that.
Oh,
So if you're doing it within Instagram specifically, that could be why.
I
And the
just
same
pulled.
would happen with Facebook. Any of the social platforms, when you open a website, it's not opening the website in your phone's browser. It's opening a website in Instagram's browser. And you're not signed in there usually a lot of times. So that's probably what it is. Does that sound like it? Because actually, I could just troubleshoot it by grabbing
Link.
that link and open in Chrome. And yes, it goes, when I switch over to Chrome, it goes directly to leaving you the review. So looks like your
Okay.
link is correct. It's just that the Instagram thing.
All right. Thank you. I didn't know if it was attached because I just opened up the my 10K card and then clicked on um the Google review and then it asked me to sign in. That was confusing. That's all.
And how about this? Since now I'm right at your thing, I will leave you a review once I get off of here. And hopefully it shows up. No promises, but I'll leave you one and I will text you a picture of it.
Thank you.
You bet. All right. Sweet. Somebody gets a review right at the end, a win right at the end. So I don't. If nobody else has anything, I will keep her moving because I got some videos to cut up. Oh, and my feedback on Opus Clip, if anybody has been listening to the last couple episodes, not a fan. And what it does it that one, I haven't tried the other one. I forget what the other one was. I have it written down, but it's like the selections it makes are just not good enough. The work I would have to put into that to get out exactly what I want would be as much as just doing it. Or maybe there's a shortcut, like roughly cut up what I want and then let it do it. I don't know. I'm not sold on at least that one yet, if you want my feedback. But I also didn't put really any time whatsoever. All I did was upload one of these episodes and then tell it to give me some things, and it asks a couple questions, I think, and then I think it spit out like 4 or 5 different clips, and they were all complete and total garbage. Like nothing even within what they pulled out I would use. So whatever. We will keep trying, and maybe a human is just the answer to the video editing problem. All right. Well, thanks everybody for being here, and we will be back next week, hopefully with some more news and some more wins, and everybody go sell something.
Thanks, Derek.
Thank you so much, Derek.
Thank you, Derek.
Thanks, Derek.